Hello and welcome back to the No Dumping Podcast, episode 8. And I am joined by my co-host today, Michael.
Hello, everybody.
It's just me and Michael at the table today, guys.
Somebody didn't want to show up. It's fine.
No, we're going to call him out. Landon, you actually suck so much. Like, how are we supposed to have a podcast? Literally, it was your idea, Landon, to bring Michael onto the podcast, and now you're just not going to show up?
I'm co-hosting.
Now he's the only co-host, Landon. You're fired. Landon, I just called you Landon.
I don't like this.
You screwed up a little bit, man.
Okay.
How's your day been, Mike?
It's been all right. I got called out for my hair being long,
As you do.
and you're probably gonna have to bleep this out, but
Yeah.
so his hair is like all the way back here. He's got like a whole daggum afro.
Yeah, dude's not even borderline got an afro. Dude has an afro.
Like hair over his ears.
Hey, it's bad.
And you know who goes, Mike, you gotta shave that.
Mike, you got it. Oh, and that's what he sounds like too.
I know.
I pray to God that he never finds this podcast because
I know.
we've talked about him so many times on this podcast.
I just saved you from bleeping somebody else out. I said, you know who.
Oh my freaking gosh! I was editing episode 7, which if you're watching episode 8, you probably already know that episode 7, like the first 5 minutes of episode 7, was all censors because these turds kept saying someone's name, and
Well,
I couldn't. Oh yeah, one of these. Yeah.
Here you go.
So right now, guys, we are experimenting with getting video ready for the podcast. We will not have video until episode 10, so stay tuned for that. But right now, if you hear us talking about it or looking off into the distance, talking to the camera that you can't see, just don't mind it. Don't pay
It's going to be on our
attention to
Patreon.
it. It will be. Not the first half of it.
No, definitely not that.
Probably not like the first 15 minutes of this video won't be on the Patreon, but the rest of it will be. So if you want to watch, I guess, the first videoed podcast, become a patron. $5 a month. You can do $5 a month. And if you want more content, you can do $10 a month. And if you want even more content, you can do $20 a month. You can help 3 broke podcasters make some money. I probably should have thought about this beforehand, but I can give them the URL to the Patreon instead of just talking about it and them not knowing how to get there.
Just what's the Patreon, the name?
No Dumping Cast.
It's just No Dumping Cast.
Yeah.
Go to Patreon and look up No Dumping Cast.
Yeah. If I was, a better host of a podcast, I would have that kind of stuff ready. We also have an Instagram. We have an Instagram now. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, go to no_dumping_.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've
Nice plug.
Yeah. Obviously, if you're listening right now, you're on YouTube because it's the only place that we have. So, like it, comment. If we like your comment, we'll read it out at the beginning of the podcast.
Please ask us questions.
Please, bro. If y'all want to know literally anything about me, ooh, that was a scary thing to say.
Scary.
It was very scary. I said anything. Anything's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Okay.
Get more into that during the podcast.
So we tried to record episode 8 with Landon a few days ago, but it was absolute garbage for some reason. We had my computer plugged up to my TV through an HDMI cord so that we could see because we had the computer under the table because our set was not all that well put together yet. It's getting better, as you can see. If you're watching on Patreon.
It's all right. It looks pretty cool now.
It looks pretty cool now. If you're watching on Patreon, for the audio listeners, suck it. But so we think that it was like the delay from the computer to the TV that was making the microphones act up and all that jazz. So we decided to just keep it on the computer screen. And it seems to be working a whole lot better. We did some test runs with it before we started, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize for last episode, for the first half of episode 7 being absolute doo-doo, because, literally, I don't know if you've listened to it, but me and Landon went back and listened to it. The first half of episode 7 sounds like dog crap.
Really?
Yeah, but the second half of it sounds perfect. For some reason, that was the one that where Landon's mic was acting up.
Yeah.
And for the first half of it, Landon's mic was acting up, and we didn't notice that it was acting up until halfway through. So
Is episode 7 already out?
episode 7 it'll be out by the time this comes out, but no, I think episode 7 is supposed to go up.
I listened to episode
soon.
6, the one that I was in,
Right.
and
That was the first one you were in.
yeah,
The second one that you were in is when we talked about time travel.
that's a good episode.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Because I was just gonna trash the project and redo episode 7, but Landon was like, "Dude, the time travel,
the theory, bro.
the time travel stuff
We're
that we
onto
talked
something.
about was too good to throw away." So I was like,
Honestly.
"You know what? You're right." So I'll just force the listeners to have to deal with a poopy podcast.
the Poo Poo Podcast.
I mean,
Or you
this
could
is the
just
No
trim-
Dumping
Or you
podcast.
could just trim it down to where it's only like maybe 40 minutes, but you could only put the good parts or something.
Yeah, I'll mess around with it. I'll see what we can do. But for the most part, it's probably just gonna go up, and just the first half is just gonna be garbage. That's just what it's gonna have to be.
The Dump Podcast.
Yeah, the dumb, literally. So coming up, guys, get excited. Mark your freaking calendars, because starting on October 2nd, we are going to be recording gameplay footage every weekend. All right, and we're gonna be putting it up for you guys for the entire month of Halloween and spooky season.
If you want to see me crap myself, please subscribe.
Oh, subscribe.
I
Hit
got
that
scared
like
at
button.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm gonna get scared at whatever you decide to throw at me.
Oh, dude, I've got a doozy of a lineup,
Oh,
and you
God.
got like I'll tell you about it after we wrap up the podcast. But the listeners, they just gonna have to wait to find out. I've literally got like 15 games that we're gonna be
Really?
playing. Oh yeah.
When is this? Is this on Halloween?
We're gonna be releasing one video every week.
Oh, okay.
So we'll probably what we'll probably have to end up doing is we'll probably have to start recording on September 25th
Okay.
to get the first episode out, and then we'll release it on October 2nd.
Okay.
And then we'll release it on October 2nd, and then on October 2nd we'll be recording another one to release on the 9th. Does that make sense?
That
So,
makes sense.
Just a little heads up for you guys, but yeah, mark your calendars. It's gonna be great.
It is gonna be fun.
It is gonna be so much fun. Like
Me, you, and Landon are just gonna poop
every weekend, we're gonna be
every weekend.
crapping our pants. What the frick was that?
Sorry, that was me.
I was like, all right, so we talked about this when Landon was here, but we didn't actually get to use it. We talked about when people finish pooping and you have to wipe. Are you a stander or are you a sitter when you wipe?
Sitter.
Yeah, sitter.
We agreed that we're both sitters, and
Yes.
if you stand, you're in another dimension.
Yeah. And we agree. I think what we came to the conclusion was if you stand and wipe, that's how you get out of the simulation.
Yeah.
And
You just
yeah, and that's why they're gone. And so I'm not going to get much back into that, but maybe we'll release that from the archives later on in the future. But the audio was actually absolutely trash.
garbage.
So I've got a theoretical question for you, and I want to hear your reasoning behind it. Let's say you're in an alley.
Okay.
You're walking down. You're just minding your own business. Some dude jumps out, and this is the second time that he has sneezed on the podcast. Anyway, my dad is in the other room just sneezing as loud as he possibly can. Anyway, so where was I? Alleyway.
Yep.
Guy jumps out at
Yep.
you, and he's trying to rob you. Right.
Mhm.
You don't give him what he wants, and he goes to attack you.
Yeah.
Would you rather get stabbed or would you rather get shot?
Stabbed. You can live with a stab wound, bro, but getting shot, you know what I'm saying? That bullet's in there. They got to dig it out.
Yeah, but stabbing is so much more personal. Like if you're gonna stab someone, you gotta have some some fire in you to actually stab someone. And I feel like if you got shot, especially in the right spot, you would die faster. But
yeah.
a stab wound, you're just sitting there in agony.
But I know some NBA players that have been stabbed 30-something times.
What
and
the
they didn't-
frick?
Yeah, they didn't die. So getting stabbed, if you got stabbed in the heart, yeah. But it depends on where you're getting stabbed, where you're getting shot at.
I don't know, man. Either way, it sounds incredibly painful.
Like if you get shot in the foot, ouch. Like any type of like getting shot instead of like getting shot in the head, getting shot in the heart, like that's instant death.
right.
Like getting shot.
Well,
anywhere-
no, not even heart. When you get shot in the heart, it's not instant death because there's still a few seconds of time to where your brain is getting blood. So
Oh,
if you
yeah.
get shot in the heart, you still have like 15 to 20 seconds of being conscious and feeling the pain of not being able
Oh,
to get
God.
blood. Yeah. So
Still getting shot in the foot hurts. Getting
I don't
stabbed.
know, have you
like,
ever been shot in the foot?
No.
Do you wanna?
No.
I mean,
I mean, maybe with a BB gun, we
Oh.
can test it out.
I mean, maybe when we go out to play airsoft,
Oh, dude, we have to.
we need to. Anyway, so I would rather get shot if I'm being 100%
Really?
honest. Because I mean, you see it in movies all the time where people get shot and the bullet gets stuck in them, but 9 times out of 10 that doesn't actually happen. 9 times out of 10 when you get shot, the bullet goes through. And then it's just like you have 2 wounds. You have an entry wound and an exit wound. And like with a gunshot, it's like almost like you don't have the control over it, so it doesn't really matter. You just have to try to patch it up as much as you can until you can get help. But with a stab wound, if someone stabs you and leaves the knife in you, that's
Ooh.
your best case. Is because if you pull the knife out, you're gonna start bleeding everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone stabs you and the knife is still in you, you have better chance of surviving by keeping the knife in you.
But what's gonna cause more permanent damage? Because if
Definitely a knife.
really,
If you get a knife to the daggum stomach, that stuff is tearing up your insides.
well, maybe like going in, but like Sam, if it goes in and out, like say your shoulder, right? It goes in and out.
Well,
like,
the
think-
entry wound will be small, but it's the exit wound that's going to have the most damage because when it comes out, it's literally blowing your skin apart.
Yeah, I know. So like all that nerve damage. Who knows? So you think gun? I think knife probably.
Yeah. Man, I just don't know.
You got any more questions?
That thing is like not picking you up at all. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Just a little mic test. Maybe one of these mics is bad. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so because it sounded good in the.
Yeah, and I mean it was kind of like that earlier, but like I'm talking pretty loud, but it's just
I don't know.
I think it'll come out fine.
My voice just carries.
Yeah.
I'm just a very loud person. Worst comes to worst, I can go into the actual settings of the microphone itself, and I can pull up its pickup range.
Oh yeah.
But if I did that, it would probably pick up me because I'm
Yeah.
a loud motherfucker.
Is that what you did to fix it? Okay.
No, I did not. I just right now we've got. For those of you who don't understand, it's actually kind of difficult to record podcasts because of all the audio problems, and it would be better if we had a producer. But seeing as how I am the producer and the host, it really sucks nuts. But it's fine. Eventually, we want to be able to have. I was talking with Landon about this.
Really?
I was like, eventually, I want whenever we get the space to have a nice set, I want to have like a brick outline, and then in the middle, I want to have a screen, right? And on the screen, I want there to be a projector projecting a computer desktop onto the screen, and then I want to get a fourth person onto the no dumping cast, not to be in the podcast, but to be kind of like a producer, to where when me, you, and Landon are talking about something, like if we were talking about a celebrity or something, then the producer sitting at the computer can slide up a picture of said celebrity on screen, and we can like look at it and talk about
That'd
it.
be cool.
Yeah, like something like that. Just it would be, especially now since we're starting to mess around with video. It's gonna be. I feel like it'll be good in the future.
Have you thought about like moving on like from USB microphones and start to get into like XLR?
Oh yeah, but we won't probably won't financially be able to do that for
Yeah.
a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I would like to get because this time next year, I have set myself the goal to be moved out, have my own place, and my dad was talking to me about it, and he was like, what you really should do is you should spend the next year and a half building credit and saving money, and then this time next year you can buy a 2-bedroom house, like that's not all that great, but you can fix it up however you want it because it'll be my house and I can
Yeah.
do whatever the frick I want with it.
Yeah.
And with having my own house, find a roommate that would want to live with it. Shut the frick up. That would want to live with me and pay like $400 a month to live there.
Oh, I might have to move in. $400
Yeah,
a
so
month.
pay like $400 a month to live there by like against paying like $800 or $900 a month to live in an apartment. So you're living 400, like you're paying $400 a month for a room. So when you, even though I own the house and it's not like I'm paying rent, I still have to pay a mortgage. I have to pay a mortgage on the house. So my mortgage payment every month would only end up being like $300 if I had a roommate that was paying $400 a month to live there.
Yeah.
Which would be we would be set. We would literally have the no dumping house. And
Honestly. So you're already working full time right now, right?
yes, I work about 50 hours a week.
So I mean, you're making enough.
Oh,
to,
I'm making bank.
I mean, like you're making enough to be able to afford that $300 a month easily.
I'm making enough right now to where if I really wanted to, I could get an apartment.
Yeah.
But that would be stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people I understand like if it's like the last resort and you have nothing else to buy but an apartment. But like if you're set now and you're like, yeah, I want my own place, why would you want an apartment?
My parents.
Because like oh well yeah, your parents are crazy. No, but what I'm saying is like with a house, especially if it's like in the right area, you can be as loud as you freaking want to for as long as you want to, and no one can say anything about it because it's your house, it's your property, and screw it.
Apartments are like $600 to $800 a month, like depending on like Camilla Trace, which is like $1,000.
Dude, freaking like crazy.
Yeah, and then like you get a house, which is like easily like a house is like $1,300 a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not a lot of people, like college kids, have enough money to pay for that. So
Yeah, but like in an apartment, there's so many there's not really like written down rules for apartment owners or apartment renters, but it's kind of like an understood like denominator. Like after a certain time, don't be loud because literally right on the other side of freaking 12 inches of drywall is another person and their family.
yeah,
Like the only thing that I want to be on the other side of my drywall is insulation and outside.
it's kind of like living in a hotel, but you got to pay for it.
Living in a hotel, hold on, time out. Do people still live in hotels?
I know. Before we moved to Maryville, like we used to live in Vonore. Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
We used to live there, and then we sold our house, but we didn't have a house to move into.
You lived in a hotel?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I know. It was
Bro, how
lit.
is that?
It was awesome.
Literally like Sweet Life of Zach and
Literally,
Cody.
dude. Oh god,
Who's that?
my girlfriend.
Oh, I thought it was about to be Landon. I was about to say, put him on. We could make fun of him live.
Hold on, let me answer this real quick.
Okay.
Hello.
Put it on the
You're
mic.
off.
Put it on the mic.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm on the podcast right now. You're on the podcast.
Oh.
Say
I'll
something.
text you later.
Say something.
No, say hi.
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Say
You-
anything you want.
You don't want to plug your Instagram or?
Plug your Instagram, something.
No.
Okay.
Alright, I love you.
Suit yourself, turd.
All right. I love you too. Bye bye.
Bye.
Man, what a I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow,
I'm just-
that's crazy.
I'm just kidding. That's definitely gonna have to be cut out.
Okay, she watches the podcast. Is she listening?
Does she really?
Yeah. I was listening.
Is she subscribed?
I don't know. I was listening to episode 6 with her the other day.
Vanessa, if you're listening right now and you're not subscribed, I will drive up there and pimp slap you. Just one good right in the side of the head, you know what I'm saying? All right. So recently we went actually like not recently, but like one of the biggest things that happened was we went to Florida. We went to Marco Island, and it was supposed to be me, Landon, Christian, and Gabe, right? But it ended up just being me and Christian, right? So we're in Marco. We get there first night. It was like it was all right, but like the house that we were staying in is really nice,
Yeah.
and it sucks because Christian's Nana, the woman who owned the house, recently sold it. So like if we want to go back, we're gonna have to pay a lot to go back, which I would like to do soon. Well, not soon, probably like next year with the boys. I'd like to go, but while we were there, we went to this restaurant called the Sandbar. Crazy, all right? We went on a Tuesday night, and everyone who lives on Marco Island, like who permanently lives there, it's like old retired people that have
Yeah.
tons of money, and they have these mansions on this island. And on a Tuesday night, we walk in to this restaurant called Sandbar. There is a it's literally like what you would think walking into a club would be like.
Really?
But it's a restaurant that's open to the public, and then on the back side of the restaurant, there's literally a dance floor, a DJ booth, like right in the middle is the bar where people can get drinks. But that night, we had to like yell at, like we're sitting in a booth and we had to yell at each other to be able to hear each other because they had like some kind of DJ in the back who was blasting Pitbull.
Oh my
Like
god.
I'm talking Mr. Worldwide to infinity.
Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity. You know, the roof on fire. All right.
Yeah.
And so it's loud. We're yelling at each other, and then the waiter comes up and he's screaming at us too because no one can hear Jack.
What do you want?
Yeah. So he was like, "What would you like?" And we're sitting here. So I'm yelling back to him what I want. What I said was, I will take. I'll have a steak and I'll have a medium, right? Apparently, he heard something different. He brings me out calamari. Yeah, I don't freaking know. So he brings me, like, you know what calamari is.
Yeah.
It's like octopus.
Fish eggs.
Yeah, like, so it was calamari with, like, squid.
Yeah.
Like, you eat the squid.
Ew.
And I was sitting there and I was like, I looked at Nana and I was like, this ain't what I ordered. And then she was like, I mean, that sucks, but that stuff's really good. Like, you should eat that. So it was like sushi with the squid tentacles. And up until this point, I had never eaten squid.
No.
And I was looking at it and I was like, that looks disgusting.
Yeah, for real.
But, like, I picked it up. And then, you know, when you eat squid, like, the tentacles, like, it's still suction-y. So
No.
when you swallow it, you have to swallow it quick, or it'll like suction to your throat, and you'll start choking.
Absolutely not.
So I pick it up like a noodle and just right down the gullet. It was actually pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But
There's no
they had
way.
like the stuff that wasn't cooked, and then they had like the squid that was cooked.
Yeah.
So I was like, the squid that was cooked, you just bite and chew. It tastes like chicken. I mean, everything tastes like chicken.
That's true.
But like the texture was what got me with the squid. It was like really
Kind of rough, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Cause like I've baited squid on like a deep sea fishing trip and stuff, and it's like kind of rough, kind of not.
It's very chewy. It's like biting into an eraser.
Yeah,
I-
they got like semi hard protective shell
Yeah.
on the outside.
Yeah, it was weird to say the least. But like, so that that's not the weirdest thing that I've eaten though. The weirdest thing that I've eaten is I've eaten scorpion. Scorpion, it's kind of they kind of taste like potato chips.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Like
because
one of those ones from the island?
yeah, no. There weren't scorpions on the island.
No, I'm talking about like the island in Pigeon Forge.
Were like the big ones,
What do you mean?
like the big scorpions.
No, like they have them in popsicles.
Oh yeah, no. I'm talking about like an actual scorpion. Like the scorpion was about like the size of this mouse.
Oh my god. What? Oh, no.
And it had this stinger and everything on the top of it. But like what you do is you take the claws off, you take the pincers off, and then you take off the tail, and then you just eat the body. Like you take the legs off, you take the pincers off, and you take the stinger off, and then you just eat the body. The body has a little bit of meat in it, but really like when it's cooked and when it's like cooked right, it really just tastes like a glorified potato chip.
Just like a fried scorpion.
It was like crunchy too, because it's like
Ew.
that got that exoskeleton. So you're like,
Yeah. Ew,
what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Dude, I'm so simple. Like, I go to, like, fancy restaurants and I order chicken tenders. Like, Vanessa gets on to me so much because, like, I never want to try anything new. And my dad is the same way. But, like, the weirdest thing, like, by far, like, the most out of my comfort zone thing I've ever ate is probably, like, crab. Because I don't like crab.
You don't like crab?
Well, like, I don't know. It was like crab cake, kind of. It was like
crab cake and
crab
crab
corn
are
cake.
two very
I've
different
actually
things.
never had like straight up like crab. Like you go into those Asian restaurants.
Gosh, dude, straight up crab. in my opinion, is the holy grail of seafood.
Really?
Oh, I love it.
I love shrimp. I love fish.
I'll get me some shrimp. Half my shrimp at Costco. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a weird bit.
Hey, have you ever had mahi?
Mahi mahi?
Yeah,
Yes.
bro. That's probably the best fish. I've
That
ever
stuff's
tasted.
killer.
I know.
We had blackened mahi mahi on Marco Island. Incredible. Like I'm talking. It was
It is so good.
yeah. Mahi mahi is very good. It's a very good seafood. So like what would like if you were going to eat something, what would be the weirdest thing you would eat?
The weirdest thing I would eat, probably gator tail. I do actually want to try
Gator tail.
Gator tail. I want to try and make some gator tail.
Interesting. I've never had gator.
My-
I feel like it'd be
Vanessa
gamey.
has.
I feel like it'd be like really stringy.
Vanessa's had gator tail. She
Oh.
said it just kind of tastes like jerky.
Oh, this is
I guess. I
it's
don't
like
know.
real thick and real tart.
I guess.
Well, not tart. Tart's not the word. It's just thick and lean because they're mostly muscle.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be weird. That would be
Yeah.
weird. I think like the weirdest thing that I would like eat. Oh Lord. Like I don't like maybe like bugs because like in like certain countries like it's actually like a delicacy to have
Yeah.
like cockroach or something like that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if I could eat a bite. I mean I've eaten a scorpion, so I guess I don't know if that qualifies as a bug though.
I think it's an insect.
But I think it's more of an arachnid, kind of like a spider.
That is true.
I don't know if it's an insect.
Well, it's not a fruit, so.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it has a few legs.
It's not a fruit. So, in the last podcast, we talked about time travel, and that was like,
Excuse me.
oh, okay, Michael. I'm trying to record a podcast here.
I'm turning my phone off because my girlfriend's texting me.
In the last episode, we talked about time travel for the last 35 minutes of the episode, but that got me thinking. Well, not really thinking, but it reminded me of this like something that I like. It actually blew my mind when I first read about it and watched a documentary about it. Is that when Walt Disney was alive and he was first starting to build Epcot, like Disney's Epcot, it wasn't meant to be a tourist attraction. It was literally meant to be the city of the future. That's why he built the monorail around it, and like literally Epcot by itself is its own functioning futuristic city, right? And that was the whole point of it, was like Walt Disney literally was trying to build this crazy utopia like 50 years before its time. Like he was like the monorail, he was like cranking that sucker out before anyone even thought about mass producing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, so, and even back then, it was like, Disney was like, I want to build this utopia, and I'm going to need a lot of land for it. And he was like, where's there a lot of land? Let's build it in Florida. Better yet, let's build it in Florida on top of a swamp. So, there's literally this, like, back then, like, when it was first, like, coming up, it was, like, revolutionary, because, like, it's this freaking super advanced city in the middle of a swamp in Florida.
Freaking Everglades, dude.
Gosh.
Could never.
But, like, imagine what Disney could have, like, imagine the ideas that he could have come up with for the city of Epcot if he wouldn't have died.
I know. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. It's like, it had its own, like, because really, especially now, but, like, if the world were to end, like, so if civilization were to crash and, like, you needed somewhere to stay, Disney World in Florida is literally a self-sustaining freaking country at this point. It's so freaking
Honestly.
big. But, like, they've got power generators that basically, like, some of their power generators can power the entire park if necessary.
Dang.
And, like, obviously there's plenty of space for people. It's like if some form of apocalypse were to happen and you held up in Disney World, you literally could like make it your own kingdom and use Cinderella's castle as your castle. Isn't that wild?
That is crazy to think about.
It's just that, like, Disney is so stinking big. Alexa, how many square miles does Disney World take up?
Here's something I found on the web. According to SavingAdvice.com, the Walt Disney World Resort encompasses 43 square miles of property.
43 square miles of property.
Dang.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
That is insane.
That is.
That's just hold on. That was just the Magic Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom is 43 square miles. Hold on.
You gotta look that up, bro.
How big is all of Disney
That's like-
World?
Oh my god, that's like a city, bro.
Surface area of Walt Disney World is 42.47 square miles.
Oh no, so that's the whole thing.
That's like two big cities.
So the Disneyland park itself is 100 acres. Magic Kingdom Park is 107 acres. Epcot is 300 acres.
Oh my god.
That's what, because Epcot was the center of the city, right?
Yeah.
Disney Hollywood Studios is 135 acres. Holy freaking crap! Animal Kingdom is 580 acres.
Oh my god.
SeaWorld, that's in Orlando, so I don't
Yeah.
freaking need that. Yeah, so that is blowing my mind right now. That combining Disneyland Park or Disney World Park, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom is 42 square miles. That is so stinking big. It's literally blowing my bean.
It's blowing your bean.
It's freaking my bean, bro. Freaking my bean.
You got any other topics?
Bro,
to
we're
talk
about
about?
halfway through this sucker, and I'm running out.
Really?
I'm getting down to the tail end of this. Oh, there was another. So I'm glad that I have my phone out with some of the stuff that I was wanting to talk about. But so, are you familiar with Bigfoot Bounty?
Is it a YouTube channel?
It was an old show.
No.
So there's always been shows like hunting Bigfoot and exposing Bigfoot and stuff like that. So there is a large community of people that still think that Bigfoot is real.
Yeah.
I mean, and who are we to say that it's not real, because we've never actually proven that he's not.
Facts.
So I'm not confirming the existence or denying thereof. But there's this large group of people that think that Bigfoot exists, right? And these people started this series called Bigfoot Bounty, to where there is a bounty on Bigfoot that if anyone finds Bigfoot, they give you all of the money. All right? 3 years ago, the Bigfoot bounty was $2 million if you found Bigfoot. I can't remember what it is right now, but I think it's like it's up there. How much is the Bigfoot bounty?
I found this on the web.
$10 million.
Oh my god.
$10 million for anyone who finds Bigfoot, like captures him alive and brings him to these people. $10 million Bigfoot bounty.
That's crazy.
I say we should go hunt Bigfoot.
Honestly, dude, make a living out of that. Because if you get that 10 million, you're set.
For life, all right?
Literally.
Yeah, so lawmaker invites world to participate in Oklahoma's. So when it first started, it was $3 million. So in Oklahoma, there was like this dude who was like, I'll give $3 million to whoever can capture Bigfoot and bring him to me alive, right? Mm-hmm. And then over the course of a few years, the bounty just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, trying to encourage people to come and hunt freaking Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But he's already making money off of it because they're making a show about it.
Oh my god.
So there's this $10 million prize, and he's probably making millions off of people coming and hunting, and him sending camera crews with them to video how they're hunting Bigfoot,
Facts.
making this TV show about it.
He probably didn't even have 3 million. He's just like, I'll give 3 million.
Yeah, he probably is. It's probably just a freaking stunt.
What an entrepreneur, bro. I want to start my own business. On God.
We are.
That's true. This is a business.
I had to explain that to Landon. I was having like a mental breakdown over one of the podcast episodes, and Landon was like, I think I told him off. Like, he called me, and I was already upset. He called me, and he was like, something. Make sure that this is that. And I was like, bro, would you shut up for like 5 seconds? And he was like, dang. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, whether you realize it or not, the podcast technically is like my second job.
Yeah, you put a lot of time and effort into this.
Yeah. That's why I want to get a daggum producer. I want to like get to the point. Obviously, it won't be for a while, but I want to get to the point to where the No Dumping brand is big enough to where I can hire on a producer and just have him do all the crap that I do now. That way I can just
T-shirts.
That way I can just show up, be like, sit here for an hour and goof off, and then
Literally.
I don't have to worry about it when I go home. But when we freaking get off of this after another 30 minutes, like, I'm going to have to worry about go back and listen to the audio, making sure that it sounds good, doing all the editing, cutting out every time you say Haley. Yeah.
So that's like another hour on your hands that you gotta like go through and listen to it, and then it's got to export, which will take probably a minute or two.
Yeah.
A few good minutes.
A few good minutes.
Yeah. So I know that you do a lot for this podcast, and thank you.
Yeah. No, it's not that it is like a second job, but like I love doing it.
Yeah.
It's like right now, freaking, I'm working like all you can do, like can do everything handyman job. Like I do electrical, plumbing, drywall, painting, construction. We do everything. And like that's not my freaking passion. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that for the rest of my daggum life.
Yeah.
Now this is my passion. Making content, I could 100% see myself in the future making content as a job.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's my goal in life. And I know that like generations before us, they don't understand, and they're like, it's like, oh, like you're just making videos, and like they're like that's not a real job. But like nowadays, it really is. Creating content.
Content creation, it's a real thing.
Yeah, content creation is a real thing. It's a real job, and it takes time, it takes effort, it takes investments. And like the older generations before us, they don't really understand that, and they don't really understand how much content a day is being consumed.
Yeah.
And how much content a day is being produced. I think like I can't remember exactly how much, but I think there's like somewhere around, like I could be talking out my left cheek right now, but like yeah, was that funny?
Yeah.
But I think there's somewhere around like 10 or like 110,000 uploads a day on YouTube.
Holy crap.
Like worldwide, which is crazy that 110,000 videos are being uploaded every day.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many deep, dark holes of YouTube that no one has ever seen.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild. When you crunch the numbers like that.
There are like so many rabbit holes that you can go down.
I think that YouTube is the best like business model, because when you first start out, I mean, you make one video, you're lucky to get like maybe 5 views on it, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if you keep like consistently pouring into like all the time and the effort, then you're gonna see results. But like if you post like one video here, you get 5 views, then like a month later you post another video, like nobody's gonna watch that.
Right.
It's just gotta be like consistency. Consistency is key.
I do agree with that a lot. And like I know that not every day people are going to want to listen to this podcast, and I understand that, because like not every day I want to listen to podcasts, but like cuz really like if you enjoy this content and you want to consume it, then freaking please consume it and tell everyone you know about it. But like I can and that's why I wanted to take the No Dumping cast and be more than just podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want us to be doing things. I want us to be making videos. I want us to be making vlogs for the channel, and like I want to have all this stuff lined up to where if people are tired of hearing me talk for an hour straight, they can switch over and watch me, you, and Landon freaking crap our pants playing
Honestly.
scary games.
Yeah.
And I feel like this could really gonna help a lot of the demographic of it, because right now we do consistently we do get a good bit of views on our videos. I mean, we only have like 13 subscribers right now.
And you get like 15.
Yeah, we get
respectfully.
15 views per video, just about, which is more than the subscriber count. But I mean, like, we're just starting. We'll get there. And we have so many episodes out already that when people start coming along and they keep coming and coming, they're gonna have enough content to consume up until the point to where we're making more. Does that make sense? So it's like they've got all of this lined up to where they can listen to us basically become who we are, and then they can see what we are now. And I think that's really cool.
If I could add one thing, I feel like what this podcast needs is just like a tiny bit more structure. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
when we come in here, like me and Landon, we're like, I don't know what the frick we're talking about. We're
Yeah.
just gonna sit down here for an hour. But like we could make that time if we sat down and we're like, okay, I'm the host. I'm asking the questions.
Right.
Like I want to hear y'all's opinion. I'll give my opinion on it, and then we like set like, because we'll be able to hit that hour time limit easy.
So what the original intent of this podcast was, we were gonna, like, what it was supposed to be is we were supposed to be telling stories of like funny scenarios that we've gotten involved with over the years, and like the whole point was like to get this group of guys together and as much as we possibly could go out and do stuff and get into crazy scenarios that we could then come back and tell people about.
yeah.
Like we talked to, like, in episode 2 was one of my favorite episodes so far. Like we literally talked about freaking Christian pooping off a dock for 2 days when we went on a kayaking trip.
Yeah.
Like the kayaking trip that was supposed to be 3.5 miles ended up being 6.5 miles
Jesus.
of just paddling in freaking canoes carrying 4 days worth of supplies.
I could not.
And there was so much that happened that week. Christian was Christian's a character, and I love him to death. It, like, I know in a previous podcast, actually, like episode 7, this last one, we made the announcement that you were taking his place. But I was talking to Landon about it, and Landon somewhat sees where I'm coming from. But I don't know about completely replacing him, because Christian was one of the main reasons that we started this podcast.
Yeah.
And he was one of the main reasons that we named it the No Dumping Podcast. It was because we went out and we tried to steal a no dumping sign that was put there because of us.
Why don't we just go steal the dumping sign tonight?
We have to do it with Christian.
Okay.
The sign has to be done with Christian because that sign was put there because of us.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So, October of 2020, so like this past year, October of 2020, so like the anniversary is coming up. And Christian this was back when, sorry Christian if you're listening to this, but this was back when Christian was dating Catherine, and he was up here like every weekend to see her.
Yeah.
But when he would come up here, he would stay here, and Landon lives 5 minutes away from me, so whenever Christian was here, Landon would just pop over, and we would hang out for the evening. And one night it was like 12:30, and they, like, Christian and Landon were like, "Yeah, I'm freaking hungry." It was like, "What's open right now?" And I was like, "The only 2 things open right now are Taco Bell and Domino's." And I was like, "And I'm not trying to freaking have diarrhea at 1 o'clock in the morning."
Yeah.
So they were like, "Okay, well, let's go get Domino's then," because Domino's is open until 1. And I was like, "Well, we got to put the order in now if we're doing it." So we throw in this order. We're driving. We take the short way to get to Domino's, and then on the way back we took a little bit of a longer way. Well, no. When we went there, we took the longer way because we wanted to listen to music and we wanted to give them time to have the pizza ready by the time we got there.
Yeah.
So on the way there, we took the shortcut. And no, we took the long way. Frick.
Yeah. On the way back, you took the
On the way
shortcut.
back, we went through the road that we normally go down
Yeah.
to get here. And when we're coming, we're like, I'm hauling tail down this road. We're going like 65, 70 miles an hour down this road, just like curvy mess. I'm in the BMW. They're blasting music, and we're just having a good time. We come into that little S curve, and in the middle of it, before the sign was there, because the sign wasn't there at this time,
Yeah.
there was a TV, like an old glass dome box TV. We passed it, and then Landon, he was in the passenger seat. Landon looks back at it, and then looks back at Christian, and then Christian just went, "Oh yeah," and then because I didn't see it because I'm watching the road. So Landon looks over to me. He turns the radio down, and then he looks at me, and he was like, "Do you have a sledgehammer?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "We're gonna need it." And I was like, "Okay." So they didn't tell me what was going on. So we get back to my house. We pick up a freaking 5-6 pound sledgehammer, big boy, like over your head breaking rocks sledgehammer. We throw it in the back of the Beamer, and then I was like, "Now what?" And he was like, freaking get in the driver's seat, and I'll tell you where to go. And I was like, Okay. So he pulls me, like, we get up to this sign, and we get up to this TV we get up to this TV sitting on the side of the road, and, like, we get out. Christian opens the trunk, pulls the sledgehammer out, and I was like, I get it. And I wish I had a video of it. I don't know why I didn't think to video. I have pictures of before and after.
I need to see these pictures.
Yeah, like, I have pictures of before and after the smashing of the television. But, oh, frick, where is it? There's the pumpkins. Oh, wait, was this before that? No way. But, so, like, and that night was the first time that Christian and Landon ever hung out together, which is why it was so special. It was the first time that Christian and Landon had ever, like, hung out. And, you know, the first time they hung out, we're doing some pretty sketchy shenanigans, bro. And it was, this happened in June?
Dang, the 1 year anniversary's already passed.
There's no way that happened in June. I guess it did. It happened in June.
Let me see.
That's wild. So that was the TV before, all right? And that's what it looked like when they were done with it, all right? And they're just, like, posed up on this TV like gangsters, all right? And then, I mean, obviously, we're not going to freaking clean it up. We just left it there.
Mm-hmm.
So we throw the hammer back in the car. And we're all like, yeah, like punching the ceiling, like, oh, let's cause some more carnage. And I was like, dude, I was like, if we cause any more carnage, we're going to get arrested. So, I mean, that wasn't the only thing that happened that night, but we're not going to get into that yet.
Oh, God.
We'll have to get into that farther on down the road.
Yeah.
But, so, like, we get back to the house. We're just like, oh, it's like, that was a really fun night. And then 2 weeks later, I'm coming down the road. The TV was gone. Like, cause the TV was gone before 2 weeks later. So, like, someone, like, cleaned it up and took care of our dirty work. Sucker.
Took care of your dumping.
Oh, yeah. They took care of the dumping, all right. So, and then I'm driving home one day, and there she is. There's the no dumping sign. And I'm looking at it, and I went, those motherfuckers. I was like, they put that sign up there because of us. So I called Christian, and I was like, I've got a job, all right? And he was like, okay. And I was like, are you coming up this weekend? He was like, yeah, I'm coming up this weekend. So he comes up, and then I get Landon over. I didn't tell him what we were doing. They didn't know it was there yet. We pull up to this thing at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, no freaking way. Did they put this here because of us? And I was like, yes, they did. So that night, I had my dad's ratchet set. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's 3 scuffed turds out here trying to unwrench this freaking sign off of the post. Like, eventually we were like, because they did it smart. They put the bolts through the sign and then through the post, and then they bent the bolt.
Oh, my God.
So it was, like, using a ratchet by itself was almost impossible. We got the bottom bolt off, though. Like, we spent, like, an hour getting the bottom bolt off. I still have it somewhere. I think it's in this drawer. But like that was our trophy for the night. So we were like, okay, well we got the bottom bolt. We'll go back next weekend for the top bolt. We come back, someone else beat us to the sign and stole it.
Really?
Yep. Someone else beat us and stole it. And we were like, oh no. It's like someone stole the sign before we did. And then, you know, like a week or two after that, they put another one up there, the one that's up there now.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well, now we have to steal this one.
Yeah.
Someone already stole the last one. Like, this one's ours.
Yeah.
But, you know, we never got around to it.
Dang it.
Like, I want to. And in the event that we do take it, right up here on this wall.
Yes, sir.
But, like, so the entire, like, our entire brand was really built around that night. And, like, I feel bad just completely excommunicating Christian.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get it. He lives in a different city, and he's got a job, and he's got his own stuff to worry about. But, like, I was talking to Landon, and I was like, yeah, I want to keep Michael on the podcast, like, for good. So it's like, but I don't want there to be just 3 of us. When Christian has the time to come up here, I want him to be here.
For sure.
Because, like, you know, he's one of the biggest parts of this thing.
One of the main faces.
Yeah. But I do like, and I am so stoked about you being here.
Me?
Because it adds a whole new demographic to it.
What do you mean?
Just because, like, your sense of humor really mixes well with ours. and it's like it's just good. It's a good
Balance, maybe.
not necessarily balance. I wouldn't use that word. Oh, what am I trying to say, dude? I'm actually freaking retarded. Like I can't think.
Is a good plethora of humor.
Oh, Prometheus. What fire of knowledge do you bring us today? No, but it's a good variety because Christian is really good at telling stories. Like I wish that I was as good as telling stories as Christian was, as Christian is. Christian's really good at telling stories. Landon is the most sarcastic motherfucker that I know. So like his
Facts.
sarcasm when he butts in is just really funny. Me, I'm loud.
That's
it.
just funny in general.
I'm loud and a lot of times, especially when we're trying to get stories and make content for people, having my energy in the group is good because I'm the one that's pushing for this crazy stupid stuff, and then
Yeah.
Landon's like, that's not gonna work, and then Christian's like, let's try it.
Yeah, Chris is just like, let's go, let's do it.
And then when you're here, like you're down for just about anything,
Just about.
which is why it's just a really good mix, I think.
So when it's like 2 a.m. in the morning and y'all are trying to force me to play Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh
and
yeah.
we're just about asleep.
When it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're trying to go to sleep and I'm standing in the other corner of the room butt naked.
Oh, that was such a fun night.
Speaking of butt naked,
Oh God.
audio listeners, I mean, not even the video listeners are gonna see this because that's just a negative. But Landon was over one day and I had just gotten out of the shower and I had the Anaconda song playing on my Amazon speaker.
Yeah.
And well, I didn't start it. Landon started it, and I was just out of the shower, so I'm walking over to my closet to get clothes out and put clothes on. So as I'm standing, dang it, where is it? Hold on, I gotta find this. This is one of the funniest videos that I have of myself. So like I'm standing in the corner, freaking naked, and I'm just like dancing to the song. And then at the very end of the video, I slap my own butt so hard, and it left a handprint. But it was so funny to watch happen because I didn't know that
You got a video?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know
Oh
that he
my
was
God.
videoing it.
Oh
Oh,
my
come
God.
on, please. No, where is it?
I really want to see this video.
Rise and shine. We're going to Disneyland. There it is.
Dude, that slap sounded like it hurt.
Dude, it did. But oh, jeez, that was it was just like so funny stuff when we're together. Something funny is gonna happen, and that
Yeah.
was like the whole idea of this podcast. Is like when we're together, something funny is gonna happen, and we're gonna talk about it.
That's like just now, like me and you, or me, you, and Landon. We can literally talk about random crap for an hour. And
We can
that's-
talk about time travel for 45
Oh my
minutes and make
God.
everyone think that we're freaking high.
Jeez, we need like a whole time travel episode.
Disclaimer: the No Dumping cast does not use any
Illegal substances.
illegal substances.
Anyway,
Back to the news. I'm just kidding. Yeah,
you got one more question? We're at 53 minutes.
53 minutes. Let's see if I can dig in here. and
Muster one more
find
question.
something. Ooh, okay. So, I would like to do this at some point. It'll take some time to put it together, but I want to get a big group of guys, right? And I want to do the thing where they let you stay the night in the aquarium.
Really?
Have you never seen that?
No.
So they normally do it with school groups, where it's like you go to on a school field trip to the aquarium and then
Yeah.
you stay the night in the aquarium, which is freaking sick, right?
Yeah.
Because you can walk around and at nighttime it's like all the tanks are lit up and it's like you can go through the shark tunnel and you can sleep in the shark tunnel. Like the glass tunnel that has like the conveyor belt
Yeah.
thing that you stand
Dude,
on
that's
and
my
takes you
favorite
through.
thing.
Yeah. You can sleep in that sucker. All right? I want to get a group of guys together and I want to go there. Cuz they do it for you. So it's not like we would be staying there without permission because it's like a whole thing. Like they make you dinner and you bring sleeping bags and you sleep.
How much is something like that?
I don't know. I'll have to look into it because it sound like I saw I saw a friend of mine who was they did the entire aquarium for themselves. It was like the two of them. It was like him and his fiance, and they had like a candlelit dinner in front of this massive shark tank. And I was like, that sounds freaking sick. I was like, could you theoretically do that with like a big group of people? And he was like, yeah, you're supposed to do it with a big group of people, but we only did it with two.
That's cool.
And I was like, you guys stayed the night in the aquarium, like just
ask
the
them
two
how
of
much
you?
it was.
I should have, but I didn't really think about it. But I was like, dude, that's freaking sick as. Like,
Honestly.
and I was like, that's crazy. But like getting a group, could you imagine if it was like me, you, Landon, Colby, freaking Chandler, Justin?
Colby would be running around naked the whole entire time.
Exactly. Colby would be butt naked, like flashing the sharks. he'd
He'd literally be on that little thing, just like slowly going back, just windmilling.
He'd be like dragging his butt across the glass. He'd moon the sharks.
Dude, that'd be so funny.
He would pressed ham Nemo and
Oh my
Dory.
God. Dude, that'd be so funny.
And then like they make you dinner and then you just like chill out at the like. I don't know what it is about being somewhere at night that you're normally not there at night. There's just something there's something really fun about it.
Yeah.
Like if you go to because I've been to places like the mall at night when no one else is there. You're not really supposed to be there, and like it's just like it's a whole different feeling. It's like because you go to the mall, especially the one here in Knoxville, not Foothills. Foothills sucks.
Yeah.
If you go to Westtown and like during the day, it's like no one really thinks about it. It's like it's Westtown Mall. But I went in there at nighttime one time because I had a buddy who worked there. I went in there at night. No one's there. It was just like him and a few other people that like work like in the janitorial staff, right? And it is like it's almost eerie because it's this massive building with nobody in it.
That would kind of creep me out.
No, it was kind of freaky. Like I remember walking around with him, and at one point he like ducked off into the darkness, and I'm just like standing in this like dimly lit mall by myself, and I'm like, "Yo, this is freaking
I
weird."
would crap myself.
Yeah.
But I think that's what we want to do for our senior prank. So we all just want to set up tent in the gym.
That would be freaking hilarious. I would like. That would be a really good senior prank. Is that you could just camp out in the school.
Yeah, that'd be legit. Because, like, we're not really doing any damage to property, but it would be
Right.
fun.
I mean, we did some damage for our senior. Well, not really damage for our senior pranks, but like my senior year was when COVID first showed up. So like I didn't even get to go to school the last half of my senior year.
Yeah.
So like we couldn't do senior pranks at the school. So what my class decided to do is we were going to go to their houses and prank their houses. One of our teachers, his name is Brother Sullivan. He is incredibly OCD. His name can be in it for the context of the story.
Okay.
He was incredibly OCD until my class got done with him. So like during the school year, we would move his bookshelves around and like switch his desk around and put his trash can on the opposite side of the desk, and like little stuff like that would bother him. So for our senior prank, when we weren't allowed to go to school, we got his wife to let us into the house, and we just flipped his entire house around. We put the living room in the dining room, with the dining room in the living room. We took, so you know, like the worst thing when you go to someone else's house and you're like trying to look for the silverware drawer.
Yeah.
But if it's your house, you know where the silverware drawer is, right?
Yeah.
Not anymore. We moved everything in his kitchen.
And
like,
she was okay with it?
yeah, she let us in. I don't think she knew what we were gonna do,
Really?
but she just let us in. She was like, yeah, y'all got it. So. Literally, like, we moved the silverware drawer. We moved all the cups and all the bowls. We went into his bedroom, and we flipped his bedroom around.
Oh, my God.
Literally, like, we took light bulbs out, like, because his house before that was pristine. It's like everything was where it should have been. Everything was perfect. Everything was dusted. Everything was clean. And then we come in, and we just destroy this place, borderline. And so, like, I took one of the things that we did was we took things and hid them around the house. Like I would take light bulbs out of the fixtures and I would hide them somewhere in the house. That way he had to go and look for them.
It's like hide and go seek with your own stuff.
Yeah, and then exactly, it's like hide and go seek with your own stuff. And then so that was that one for that. And then for our teacher's sister Rachel, our math teacher, she was a big fan of the TV show The Office. Mm-hmm. So we went to her house and we pulled some of the pranks that Jim pulls on Dwight, right?
Yeah.
So we took her office and put it in her bathroom. We took all of her staplers and put them in Jell-O. And then there was an inside joke that we had about cats. Do you remember that when the senior class would come down the hallways going, meow?
Yes.
So there's like this inside joke that she told us a story of her sister was like, had a blanket over her head and was going, meow. And then her kid was like, yeah, she speaks cat. So that was like the joke. So we like hid in her house. It's like I was like in her closet, and then Bella was like behind the couch, and Cameron was in the kitchen, and Brendan was like freaking up on the ceiling, and we were all like, as soon as she walked in, we just started going meow, like every like in sync. So it'd be like meow, and then the next room would go meow.
Did you know that you guys were there?
No,
I would have flipped. I would have been like, nope.
because Dale let us in.
I would have walked out.
Dale was like, yeah, sure, you can do whatever. So Dale let us in, and we're over here just like it was a good time. So she walks in, and we're like, she's hearing freaking meows coming from each room of the house. She looks at Dale, she's like, what is happening? What's going on? And then after she saw her desk in the bathroom, she caught on and realized that we were there.
Yeah.
And it was a good one. I think that was really it. We didn't really do much after that.
Well, we just hit 1 hour.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have anything you want to bring up, we can go ahead and cut it.
I mean, I'm kind of out. I'm all dry.
Oh, I can fix that.
Oh God.
Hey, at least you weren't late.
That is true. I was like 5 minutes early.
I told Landon that if he was late, or I told Michael that if he was late, I was going to clap his cheeks. And
It
then
didn't
Landon
happen.
said that he would quit the podcast if Michael was late.
And
guess,
Landon didn't
guess
even show
who
up.
didn't even show up? Guys, thank you for tuning in to the No Dumping Podcast. It's been real.
Titties.
Okay. Michael still hasn't understood. Michael doesn't get that. It's been real. It's been fun. But it ain't been real fun.
Titties.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.